Great Britain. Bravo struggled against, speaking of France, he didn't struggle quite so much against Winterberg Poulsen, but a really tough match against fencer from Taipei, Chie Chen. What do you make of this matchup?
Yeah, so Bravo from the very beginning, actually. I think he even went 4-2 in the pools. So slow start today. Being from the States, I've seen him a lot. Really, for him, it doesn't matter where he starts. He finishes very strong. Now, Cervantes, I was watching him all day, and like you said, lights out. Whenever people were thinking that they were going to get him, he would come on strong and change his game to do whatever he needed to do to win. So, very interested to see what happens here.
It is Cervantes out on the attack off target. You know, Bravo has coach Greg Macialis in his corner. And I have watched Greg Macialis for many years. And he was spending an awful lot of time on his feet today.
Yes.
And that's never really a good sign. Especially if you're not his fencer, or if you are his fencer. Bravo. Parry off target. Cervantes parry off target. But Cervantes has fenced today like he belongs up there.
Yes.
And you know, Chan of Hong Kong was a very tough match. Zhu Hongbin of China, a very tough match. And he looked calm and composed. He did not struggle at all.
I feel many of the fencers underestimated him. I would feel that Bravo, knowing where he is right now, wouldn't underestimate him and have a plan for him. You'll see Cervantes, very fast hand, deceptive footwork, where Bravo has very classical, very great footwork. So he's going to try to use that to his advantage.
You know, we mentioned that Kenji Bravo is junior world number 11 as a cadet, but he didn't fence in the junior competition yesterday. Why is that? Is it because there were so many American fencers in the?
Yeah, so actually that was a decision made by the national coach and his coach, Greg Macialis, with the new format, and we keep speaking about that. They thought that Kenji had a very good shot. Here he is in the finals at winning the Cadet World Championships, and they didn't want to jeopardize that by him fencing both events.
Right.
Kenji also does cramp up at times. You see him, I think his leg's cramping right now as he's moving around. So 2 days of this wouldn't have worked.
Right.
And so that was the choice made. And
well, you know, when you've also got Nick Itkin,
right,
the new champion, and when you have got Siddharth Kumbla, when you've got Jeffrey Tourette, you've got Sam Molis. That's a pretty crowded field.
Yes. Going to take a break. It's just bothering him way too much. That's one of the worst when your leg cramps up.
Well, are we going to have a second semifinal where an athlete has to withdraw in the same night?
Yeah, I hope that doesn't happen. It's definitely going to affect him, with regards to cramping. And then once again, you have the situation where Kenji's part of the team tomorrow.
All right, well, Dr. DeFoligny is out again, and 2 members of the ambulance crew and the medical crew, and Greg Macialis is over there. And, as a coach, what can you do? What can you do at this point in the match when cramp is
the cramps
is creating a problem?
Cramps are one of these things that are more annoying than they are long-term effect, unless you really pull something. So there's ways to fence with a cramp, much more defensive, but your opponent knows that. And so when I was competing, even when I had a cramp, I would just always be walking back and forth, just never stopping. Certain things work different for different people. So right now you see that's the American trainer out there stretching his leg, getting the blood flow. And it's all about moving around, just trying to last. But not much you can do when you don't have one of your legs.
Well, we've been talking about the new format and the cadet fencers who fenced yesterday and were fencing again today. Kenji Bravo didn't fence yesterday.
Right. Yeah.
We're into a full 5-minute medical timeout here. Kenji Bravo, I would surmise, in order to avoid overdoing it, didn't fence yesterday.
Right.
And here he is in first semifinal, and he's having medical attention for cramp.
Yeah, and this is, like you said, this is one of the reasons why he didn't fence yesterday, to try to avoid this. But these are the Cadet World Championships, and there's a lot of adrenaline running. And what we say sometimes is one pull bout at the World Championships is the equivalent of 3 or 4 practice bouts. You start adding those up, and that's a lot.
Is that not only the physical activity, but also the stress that comes along with it?
Yes, all the mental stress. Even you don't realize that your body is tensing up, but it is. And when you do your lunge, even in your best practices, you feel you're going 100%, but at the tournament, you're going 120%. So just all that added up becomes a lot of physical and mental stress. And if you don't have that high of a stamina, then the cramps start kicking in.
Well, this is our first semifinal, cadet men's foil. In our second semifinal, cadet women's foil, Martina Favoretto, world number 1 in juniors, had to withdraw because of ill health and orders from her federation and her coach, and abandoned the match. And Ueno sent through to the gold medal match. Kenji Bravo, now in our first men's match, having a severe problem with cramp, and a medical timeout, is now off the scoreboard. And Diego Cervantes of Mexico holding a 6-3 lead. And we will see if junior world number 11, Kenji Bravo, can continue for the whole match. Parry, counter parry, Cervantes off target. A lovely attack there from Cervantes. Now, do you think he's going to try and get Kenji Bravo to move as much as possible?
For sure.
Bravo with the attack there.
Yeah, if Cervantes was smart, first of all, he wouldn't want any non-combativity. He'd want to get Bravo to move as much as possible.
Just to clarify several questions that we've gotten in the comments. Kenji Bravo is a cadet. He also fences in junior events and is junior world number 11. That has no bearing on this competition. This is a cadet. This is the cadet men's foil event at the World Championships. But after last night, the top 3 junior women's foilists are all cadets. There is not a world ranking for cadets. Oh, that was lovely from Cervantes.
Oh my, that was an amazing shot.
Now, in close quarters, it is Bravo. Bravo's parry off target. And attack off target. I mean, Bravo looks...
He's moving around.
Looks like he's moving without any kind of discomfort. Oh,
yes.
A lovely attack. Let's see if we see that. He comes in, the high line drops into the low line and gets again. This time just directly in the low line. I think he may be fine.
Wow, again. In that low flank.
Now, Cervantes getting ahead of himself here. And perfectly manageable for him. But if he rushes in and shifts 3 or 4 points that he doesn't need to, then he's going to put himself at a severe disadvantage. We go to our 1 minute break, our first 1 minute break, and there is Kenji Bravo with Greg Macialis, and he's looking much more comfortable than he did before. And Diego Cervantes, you know, from what we've seen today, he's been down. He's been down in tough matches. I expect this to be, if Cervantes can keep his head here, I expect this to be close all the way through.
Yeah. I think Kenji found some nice actions actually at the end there. Cervantes was forcing the actions a little bit too much. And Cervantes, you know, comes back, grounds himself, gets back into the game. This could end down to the wire.
Yeah. Bravo's come out to end this. He's really strong. Bravo is really strong defensively.
Yes.
And he's relied on that a lot today. But, you know, when he shifts gears and decides to come at you, that's not necessarily a good thing. Well, that will do it. The wheels came off right before the end of our first period for Diego Cervantes, who had fenced well up until the point where the injury timeout came. But it is Kenji Bravo ending our first semifinal looking very strong, very fit, and importantly for Greg Macialis and the USA, perfectly able to continue.
Oh, yeah. Fantastic ending there. Looked like his legs were back. I'm sure once he unhooks, he's going to go visit the USA medical trainer, maybe get a little rub down, drink some fluids, get ready for his final bout.
Well, we've got another men's cadet foil semifinal to come, and then we will have 2 gold medal matches. And